Gaming round robin, where 22 teams will compete with each other to earn points in order to qualify for the finals in a few weeks' time. I'm Mr. Jester, and tonight with me is the legendary Harry Surf. Man, what's going on?
First off, I wouldn't call myself legendary.
Ooh.
Not at all.
Ooh, okay.
But, yeah, we've got Blizzard up on the red team or the purple team, but I'm going to be calling the red team, and we've got the pros up on the blue team. And the stream, the people started the game really quickly, and we didn't manage to set it up, so here you go.
Yeah, so we've managed to get right into it straight away. Unfortunately, there was, I guess, some little technical problems, and as soon as we managed to get the stream up and running, game's already kind of underway in the Champion Select. Firstly, just quickly note, this is a featured matchup between Blizzard and the pros. Blizzard are on the purple team, the pros are on the blue side. They'll play all 3 games, so it's not a best of 3, but a 3-game matchup, and every team, that wins a match, they get 1 point. So if you win all 3, you get 3 points, or loser gets none. This is for, again, the round robin, and team with the most points after, I think, 11 weeks gets into the finals. And for the bans, we see Fizz, Morgana, Draven banned out by the pros, and Thresh, Darius, and Maokai from Blizzard, and instantly a Nasus pick from Chistastic. And quickly, Jax, wow.
Quite interesting, considering there's no Rek'Sai ban. And
yeah, very much.
I've played her a bit, and I've seen her a bit, and she is really strong. And sitting on, what was it, a 70% ban rate at the moment?
Yeah, currently in solo queue, she's got herself a 70% ban rate, the highest at the moment. I think behind her is Zed at 55, and also she's boasting the highest win rate at 55% as well.
Yeah, which is just incredible. And this is going to be a really awesome game if we do manage to see a Rek'Sai coming out by someone, even though we have already seen a couple of people picked up. Nasus, I'm assuming, is going to be in the top lane, which I do like seeing a Nasus in a game, because it means that either the enemy team is going to be ganking Nasus over and over and over again, or Nasus is going to get really, really strong, or Jax is just going to whoop his ass, which could happen because of that counter-strike, and is going to be able to block that siphoning strike that's going to be coming in, and stunning him, and being a real bully to Nasus. So there's a lot of things that can happen with a Nasus, but you do not want it to get to late game. So I'm going to be probably seeing red team picking up a lot of early game champions.
Yeah, definitely. They've got themselves that Vi as well, very powerful in the ganking curve. I think it's Vault Breaker. It's very strong to get the closer gap as well. Since we see Nasus running Ghost. Now, again, some of the spells we can't really solidify until everyone's locked in and in that 3-minute delay. But if he doesn't opt to run, say for instance, a Flash, you can burn the Ghost easily, and then Vi with Vault Breaker and Assault and Battery can lock him down very well to follow up with the Counter-Strike, which you mentioned with Jax. We do see a Warwick being picked up by the pros, and Orianna as well. That's a really kind of interesting ball delivery system. Warwick, Infinite Duress is in, with the Shockwave coming out from the Orianna. That'd be a pretty cool combo, to be honest, to see.
Yeah, I'm hoping that blue team is going to have this really strong combo, lots of CC coming out here, or building up for the late game as well. Because Warwick, once he picks up that item that I don't know the name of, that it's pretty much the old Feral Flare, but it's a little bit stronger and a little bit weaker, because it starts you off with a little bit more extra stacks once you've got it, but at the same time, it doesn't do 3 times the damage on monsters. So he's going to be able to have a lot of power in the game if he picks that up, and more than likely he will, because hell, he's Warwick in the jungle.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was Skirmisher Saber you're after, where every auto attack, and I think 3 seconds afterwards, does a true damage burn. We do also see an Ahri from Winterfell and the Lucian being picked up. Lucian, one of the more staple ADCs. He's definitely the top. I think, who else is near him? It's Corki, and as well, Ezreal's been seeing a lot of love. Blue Ezreal. So the Lucian pick isn't that surprising, nor is the Corki. Very powerful early game ADCs. Corki, especially when it gets the Sheen and hits level 6 with his Missile Barrage, just does so much damage. And it'll be interesting to see who is going to be picked up. I think it'll be the support now from Blue team. And I think what just happened is they've actually picked according to how their roles are. I don't think anyone's told them that they can do trades, which is okay.
Rengar. Also, I'd say that probably would be support. And you know what? I have seen that in probably 2 games, and I've probably played it in about 5 games. Like by seen, I mean a person that I wasn't playing, and it's hit and miss. It's either it's gonna work or it's really not gonna work, and it's really, really aggressive. And red team is going to really need to play very strategically and not get out of position, because if they get hit by one of those ferocity charged e-bowlers, then all hell's going to break loose, especially if Lucian, how he needs a lot of his mobility. And if he can manage to just keep dodging with his E, then he'll be perfectly fine. But as soon as he gets hit something by one of those snares, then he's just going to be locked in place, and he's going to just be stuck there, because he doesn't really have that much damage once he's lost his E because of his passive.
Yeah, definitely. And the Braum being picked up by Safe. I'm interested to see what they will actually do. So now they will be able to swap around the picks, and we won't be finalized as to who's gone where exactly once we get into a 3-minute spectator delay. If it is a Rengar support, like you mentioned, the ferocity built up with the bowler strike, be able to get the snare onto somebody and then simply jump on. The Braum pick, I kind of like if that was the case, because he can simply drop off his concussive blows for the 4-man stun. And him and Lucian, with his Lightbringer, I think is his passive, will be able to stack up that concussive blow very quickly to get the stun off instantly. And I don't know, I'm not overly fond of a Rengar support. If anything from their comp, I would have liked the Morgana. If I was to pick a support right there, it would have been the Morgana. You get the Black Shield off onto Warwick, so when he does ulti in, there is no CC to stop him. Like, the Charm won't be able to get him off. Vault Break will fail. Jax is all the CC will just be negated because of that Black Shield. And that would have been a much better pick overall. And we are into the spectator delay, so the picks have been locked in. For the pros, we see Chistastic running the Nasus in the top lane recipe with the Warwick. Chromie playing the Orianna as well as Boogie Board. Corki and Nukata playing a Rengar support. Very interesting pick right there. On the red side, Blizzard will be playing Zero with his Jax. Tarzan on the Vi. There definitely is in the jungle right there. Winterfell on Ahri. Frosty with the Lucian, and Safe picking up the Braum right there. Very solid picks. Not sure which one we'll go for, though. I don't know who will take the lead here. Just picks alone.
Personally, I'm putting my own bet onto red team, because I do feel like their carries have a lot of mobility, with Ahri and Lucian both being one of the highest mobility kind of champions for each of their roles, and then they've got a lot of CC with Jax and Vi and Braum all being able to pretty much keep them very safe. And if you look to the lanes, then you've got Jax and Nasus, where it kind of should lean a bit towards Jax's side with his Counter Strike, being able to block a siphoning strike and being able to do a little bit more damage and stunning Nasus, as well as you've got Ahri against Orianna. She's quick; she can just jump out of the shockwave that's going to come in, and then the bot lane, it's a little bit either way. So personally, I'm going to put my bet on red team if they can manage to stop that Warwick, of course.
Oh, definitely. They have a lot of CC, like you've mentioned, Jax. A lot of CC with Vi as well. Braum, definitely my favorite pick in this whole matchup. He's slow, consistent slow with concussive. I think it's not concussive blow, this is passive. Winter's Bite. Landing that on the Nasus, who we've seen Chistastic, he's running the Ghost. Therefore, he will more or less, he'll pop up the Ghost, but if you constantly keep slowing him down, he will be easily kited. You mentioned again Ahri and Lucian, one of the very most mobile champions in their roles. We'll be able to kite him quite well. And Nasus, granted, he's farmed up his Q. His Siphoning Strike is probably in the, say, 600s. Okay, if he hits you, you're dead. But if you're able to kite him, then it's all for naught. It means nothing, if anything. And they do have a very kite potential team, especially with the Braum, in my opinion.
Exactly, yeah. So So it could go either way, but at the moment I'm gonna be sticking on our good friend the Blizzards here.
Oh, definitely.
I'm very excited to see how this Rengar support plays out though, because if they manage to come out aggressive enough and take down Lucian early, then it could really go their favor.
Absolutely, absolutely. If anything, like if Corki is able to get a few kills early on, develop a good lead for himself, get a bit fed there, and with Rengar, we're looking for a very aggressive bot lane, especially coming out from the pros. So if they are able to get kills onto, if not Corki, at least Rengar, and then what Corki can do potentially is just, I guess, if anything, they could swap lanes, try to 1v2, get the Nasus 1v2 or Corki 1v2, and let Rengar roam around. I see a very gank-heavy roam coming up from Rengar and Warwick. That's a very deadly combination. You have Rengar stealthing in, Warwick with infinite duress. If they're ganking up on the top lane, that's a free kill to Nasus. You might have Leap Strike and the his stun there from Jax. But that's nothing. Alright, he'll Leap Strike away to a minion. You can Warwick ulti. If he then what Escape does if he flashes out Rengar Snare with Ferocity Bola Strike. If anything, that's a very good coordination if they can get that rolling. But for that to happen, I feel Boogie and Nukata have to be able to snowball the bot lane in their favor, and they can potentially do that. It all depends on how well Frosty and Safe are in that bot lane, if anything.
That's exactly right. Like, all they need to do is just keep safe and not get Corki and Rengar strong, because that could pretty much win the game at the moment. Like, it's not so much as Blizzard is going to go in and stomp the game. It's pretty much all they seem to really need to do is prevent people on the pros from getting really strong, because Corki and Rengar together can get really, really strong, and Warwick can get really strong in the jungle, and Nasus can get up all his strikes up in the top lane. And if they can just prevent them from getting really strong, while also getting themselves strong in the meantime, then that can just win them the game.
Absolutely. Just get also a split pushing comp. They could potentially run a split pushing. You have decently good wave clear with Corki and Orianna. And we are into the game right there, just fixing that up. And I don't know why I have potentially red border. That's interesting. Doesn't matter. We are in the game. This is going to be not a best of 3, but a 3 matchup between the pros and the Blizzard. So all 3 games will be played. And again, if they win a game, they get a point. And that all accumulates over the next, I think, 10 or so weeks. And the top 8 teams that do have enough of the points will be able to move on to the finals. So this will be the first game for both teams in this massive round robin. A lot of the favorite is going over towards Blizzard just purely on team comp according to Harry Surf. I like the Rengar support. But I find it's going to be weird, but I think he can do something crazy. That'd be kind of cool if he does something amazingly scary. But we have no idea how this is going to turn out. What do you guys think, if anything? What do you think, Harry? What would be the game changer for both teams? The one thing that could potentially game change?
Just the fact that I got a feeling Warwick is either going to be sitting in his jungle the entire time, which is going to be giving the Blizzards a lot more pressure in their lane if they know that Warwick isn't going to be coming out of that jungle and he's just going to be farming around, because it's pretty much a 45 until Warwick decides to come out of that jungle. So it's either going to be played that way, or Warwick could be coming out into the lanes and just getting as many kills as possible, because he does still get extra stacks on the Devourer, that's what it's called, and which will boost up his damage a bit more anyways, even if he gets a killer assist, so he doesn't necessarily need to take up.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we did see Blizzard doing a very good team coordination, grouping up as a group of 5, trying to get an invade in the bottom side, but already had Recipe, Nukata, as well as Boogie were already there preemptively, got the ward and managed to get away. We did see Nukata already pick up the ball strikes, so that'll be pretty good, I guess, for his ranged harass. He can't really be able to get onto Frosty or Safe, I guess, level 1. It would be pretty much the worst decision ever, so using the bowl strikes to get a bit of harassment. We also do see both junglers starting off at the bottom side camp, so Recipe's onto the Krugs, Tarzan starting off with the Gromp. is that basically the start of every jungle? Like, I've noticed a lot of times the spot lanes will take those camps and the junglers start off on the top side. But I guess this won't be the case.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much just like based on which kind of character you're playing, because generally if you're playing someone with a lot of attack speed or a lot of damage, then you really want to start down at the bottom with the little Rockman, in terms of Warwick's case, where you're going to be getting that stun, so you can keep making your jungle easier for you. People never start with the buffs anymore as well, that's another point. But,
Definitely.
yeah. Tanky people are generally better off getting what's that frog called?
That would be the Gromp.
Ah, the Gromp. Yeah. They're probably much better off getting the Gromp, and you pretty much get like a little free kind of Rammus ability with your little shield.
Oh, definitely. We have been seeing in the bot lane though, Nukata trying his best with the ball strikes to get the harassment, like we've mentioned. But safe, what they did want, what very good coming out from Blizzard, they had the ward there already, knowing where Nukata is. He couldn't use his Unseen Predator's passive to be able to jump onto Frosty or Safe. So they were there to keep an eye on him to make sure if he was going to do it or not, if he was in position and whatnot. And already, although Boogie has been able to get his free farm, so it's not like it's causing too much of a problem. But again, I still feel there could have been a better pick, but the rank could be interesting. Tarzan trying to get a gank in the mid lane, not really working out. The Void, Vault Breaker not reaching the target intended. It's just a slow-paced start of the game, only 3 minutes in. Although Tarzan wants to get a kill, we can see her chilling around the mid lane, decided it's better to just back off and head back into jungle, or no? No, instead she'll just take off the little Scuttle Crab in the top side, as Zero is playing very aggressive onto Chistastic on the top lane, already having himself a commanding CS lead for himself right there.
I'm not terribly fond of what Vi's just done there, where she's gone off and taken out the Scuttle Crab, because first off, there's not really any reason for her to have taken it, because they don't really need vision that much at this point of the game. And as well, the Scuttle Crab is a fairly tanky and hard to kill monster, and she could have gone and she could have taken out some kind of other monster, although it doesn't do any damage. Could have taken out something else and gotten more experience and gold from it than taking out the Scuttle Crab.
Definitely, we do see those safe going onto Nukata, has himself gotten all those concussive blows. Boogie was taking quite low from Frosty, and it was able to just back off. Even actually good trade going in for Blizzard right there. Safe, very much healthy, and Frosty was able to get Boogie quite low. And the potions will be coming out though. Nukata is landing those boulder strikes, but it's not really doing anything. If anything, just building up the ferocity. Let's see how that goes exactly. I feel... Alright, granted the Nukata, Rengar and Corki can be very aggressive. Maybe if it would have worked if they had a different jungler potentially, maybe like a Lee Sin or a Vi. Speaking of Vi though, Tarzan has gone up to gank into top onto Chistastic, lands the Vault Breaker, he gets stunned up by Zero, taking quite low. In fact, he will fall down. Zero will pick up the first blood of the game. Go Blizzard right there. Only have 400 gold lead though because of that kill, and Zero will be able to get a free farm for himself right there.
Yeah, and he's really going to need that free farm, especially considering he's up against that Nasus, and he's going to be able to keep bullying and push him out of lane, which is going to be extremely useful for Jax. And it looks like they may even get some damage to the tower.
Yeah, in the bot lane, Nukata was able to get the Ferocity Empowered Ball Strike. Boogie goes in with the Valkyrie, but he's not going to be able to get any last auto attack. Safe flashes immediately. He will be able to get away. That's a flash down, so good play coming out from the pros. The Rengar pick actually doing something right then and there. If anything, it's just simply that snare from the Ferocity Bolt Strike.
Yeah, I'm really interested as to why this Rengar play is working much better than I expected it to, especially considering the only poke that he really offers as a support is from his E-Boulder. And I'm gonna keep doing that. And then Braum just one-ups with his, oh my god, Jax.
Jax with a brilliant teleport with also the, what's his E again? I forgot. But Frosty will pick up a kill. That's 3 kills going towards Blizzard. And then, now they have pinged for the Dragon, so that's going to be the first dragon going over towards Blizzard. There are no vision wars at all from the pros. So this is going to be a free dragon. It's actually a pretty good pickup for themselves. They will be able to get that dragon stack very early on. Increased AD and AP for themselves right there.
Yeah, and since the dragon is now a lot stronger. Yeah, there it is. The dragon now is a lot stronger because like even just that 6% is a lot in the game because it's just going to give you that really small edge on top of your enemies, and that, like, you're like, oh, 6% attack damage and ability power. Okay, that's quite pathetic. I can get that from masteries or whatever. But it's like, it's just something that you have that the enemy doesn't, and especially for Jax up in the top lane, just where he's going to be able to bully Nasus that little bit harder, especially where he benefits from both the ability power and the attack damage from his Counter-Strike dealing some damage with his ability power, and his ultimate where he gets some extra stats, just extra damage up there.
Oh, definitely. It is an increase in boost stats for a boost for the stats. Depending who they are, hybrids definitely get the best out of it since it gives both AP and AD. Jax, definitely a hybrid champion, will benefit from both stats. So, however, the thing is though, it is a percentage boost. So early on, you might get maybe a 1, 2, 3 AD AP. So it's not that big of a boost, but so it's not like completely game changing. It's not like Zero's going to instantly start getting 5 kills out of nowhere. But it's definitely later on in the game when they do pick up the items. Like for instance, Zero, if he gets his Triforce, already Triforce is one of those mid-game item power spikes that once you get it, alright, bang, you're going to do a lot of damage. Stuff like that, when you do get more and more items, that percentage ends up actually increasing and it becomes significant. It could potentially turn around fights. It is possibly the stats you might need to actually win a fight or contest other objectives. For instance, Dragon and Barons. Having that increased stat boost will definitely power up Blizzard for future and maybe even potential siege-like events in the later of the game. So right now, it's not going to be as significant, so you're not going to see an instant one-sided stomp just off that first dragon. Later on, it'll definitely start having some significance. If anything as well, it's probably one of the best catch-up mechanics that team can have. So if you've been strived of dragon, like you haven't been able to get any single dragons at all in the whole game, come 40 minutes in, and you're somehow able to get the first dragon, that'll actually be really good. It's really beneficial for you. It gives you that increased stats, so it's going to be really good. So if anything, it's a good catch-up. Okay, and Zero is going aggressive on a Cheese-tastic, gets the stun onto him, but Cheese-tastic is actually doing a bit of damage to the Stunning Strike. There's the ultimate. He will actually win this trade-off. Zero's forced to flash away. So there we go. Despite having the first dragon, isn't able to turn the fight instantaneously for himself. Zero's actually taking quite low, and the ultimate from Cheese-tastic doing quite work right there.
Yeah, I think Jax just got a little bit cocky because he's like, oh, I've got 6% increased attack damage and ability power. I can go destroy Nasus. But while he was down the bottom getting that dragon, or while it was up in the base, Nasus was just sitting up in the top lane and grabbing some more minions and increasing his stacks 3 at a time, just getting more and more. And then that probably gave him an extra 30 to 40 damage on his siphoning strike, which is a fair amount.
Currently, I think it's over 100 or so. Like, how much exactly is the stacks up going for that siphoning strike right there?
I don't know how long it was since he did the thing. At the moment, he's got 105, 108.
Okay, so it's not bad. So it's not as stacked up as a lot of people tend to do. I'm pretty sure you could potentially get near the 200s, I think, around this time. I'm not sure the exact maximum, but we do see Boogie force the Valkyrie. There is the ultimate from Safe. No one's able to do anything. Frosty wasn't there to respond to the Glacial Fissure coming out from Safe, but already that's a big ultimate burn. So that's actually going in favor of the pros if they're able to do something about it. We do see, though, pings are onto Recipe in that blue buff. In fact, all of the rest of the team are converging onto it. Tarzan will be able to get up the blue buff. Recipe is forced to flash away. In fact, no, wait, he got the blue? He does! Winterfell with the Flash Ignite will pick up the kill, though. The heal from Chrome is not enough, and Tarzan is now taking his dominance over this jungle, taking up a Grump for himself right there.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job of just preventing Warwick from getting any kind of farm. A little bit of engage on the bottom, but nothing really came from that. I was very impressed with Warwick's escape with the flash over the wall, but then, I mean, the was it the ultimate?
Yeah, Wintervale followed up flash to Ignite, managed to get it. Frosty, though, is doing a lot of damage with Boogie. Gets exhausted by Nukata. Nukata on a chase, concussive blows lands. Nukata, in fact, is quite low. We're able to heal from this. In fact, no, he doesn't use up the heal. He tries to get the snare and misses. And there is the ultimate. It's going to pick up the kill. No, yes! Oh my god, the heal from Boogie saves his life! Recipe is around, he's coming, he's got his ultimate to Infinite Duress is up. But who cares, he's chasing after Frosty. There's a skirmish to save as well. And a double kill for Boogie. Great missile barrage right there. And a life-saving heal as well.
Really, yeah, really well played from the pros right there. Just going in, just fully all in, straight up with all the summoner spells, all the abilities, just going straight up, jumping on top of him, getting Warwick in there, kind of pulling Warwick back into the game again after he got shut out by Vi a little bit there from before. But yeah, Warwick should be able to, later on in the game, he should be able to just take out those dragons by himself with his amazing attacks, like just his base attack speed that he has. So he's got a lot of like jungling stats that he's going to be able to take dragon off by himself. So hopefully he can get back into the game by doing that.
That's like, and Chromie will be engaged, does land the shockwave though, actually really well. Winterfell's taking quite low. Recipe was around the corner to assist had Winterfell gone deep in. And so close! That nearly took the life of Chromie. He's got to back off for sure now. Winterfell nearly picking up himself a little sneaky kill right then and there. We're not in top lane. Chistastic is still able to farm up a bit. Obviously not to the best of his potential, but still able to get Siphoning Strike built up. And I guess that's the thing of Nasus is no matter who you pin him up against, no matter what matchup he's up against, he will still be able to farm up that Siphoning Strike.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. I mean, usually when he's up against a Jax and he's got a really aggressive jungler on his side, like Jax has got a really aggressive jungler on his side, and then usually Jax is going to be able to push out, or like a Renekton up in the top, or a Teemo, someone who's just going to be able to just push Nasus out of the lane is a really good choice. But Vi hasn't really been going to the top lane at all, I don't think. I don't think she's ganked. She
ganked once, and that was where the first blood gate went over to 0. So that was the only death for Chistastic. We do see he opted to go for a very early on Frozen Heart, which is, I think, a very good solid pick, especially against the likes of Jax, Lucian, and Vi, who all have a form of auto attack reliant abilities. Vi, obviously, with her W, Jax, it's a given. It's Jax. His passive alone discusses about auto attacks. And Lucian, you're an ADC. You auto attack for days. So it's a very good option. I think very good early buy for himself right there. And one thing I don't like is they're letting him to free farm top lane now. Granted, Dragon's spawning up in 3 seconds. But Recipe's down there, Chromie's around as well. They're all aware of the Dragon. In fact, they had it warded. They're going to delay the Dragon being picked up by Blizzard for as long as possible. But they do land a snare onto Zero. He goes up with the counter-strike, jumps on the Recipe, the turnaround ultimate as well. Zero falls down, Tarzan now jumps onto Chromie, but Boogie Board has not been targeted. Shockwave only lands a safe, so that's actually going to fail badly. Winterfell dives in, picks up his second kill of the game onto Chromie. It's actually a good fight in favor of Blizzard. They managed to pick up a 2-for-1 exchange, and should be able to pick up the Dragon right now. But forget all that. There is a free farming Nasus who's already taken 1 tower, and now he's trading up for the 2nd tower, if anything. That's actually a really good trade-off too. Granted, you get experience and a stack from Dragon, but what it misses is it doesn't give you gold. So in retaliation, the pros were able to pick up their first tower of the game to even up probably in gold-wise.
Yeah, so yeah, that's exactly right. They just managed to pull the goal back, and there's only a 400 gold lead at the moment, which isn't really that much. And really nice work on Nasus' behalf, where if his teleport was up, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have even teleported down to Dragon to help him out. He would have just gone, no, I'm going to take the tower, I'm going to get some more free farm, I'm going to get my stacks up and use my teleport for when I need to get back into lane.
Definitely, they do land the slow onto Frosty. So the Ranger pick again, not doing as much as maybe he could have done. It wasn't able to get the snare onto Zero, which instigated the whole fight. But Zero already getting the Blade of the Ruin King. In fact, he's got himself also a longsword, so that could be a potential phase later on. So he was able to tank up a lot. In fact, he's going aggressive onto Cheese-tastic, but Cheese-tastic's taking a lot of damage. His ultimate is up though, so if he chooses to, he can unleash the Fury of the Sands, but instead just simply decides to back off. Meanwhile, on bot lane, Boogie and Nakata are doing quite a good job of zoning out the enemy bot lane. And we also do see pings are around where Recipe is. He's now decided to head up in the top lane. Cheese-tastic with the slow onto him. Here's a counter-strike too. Zero's doing a lot of damage. Cheese-tastic is forced to use the Fury of the Sands, but who cares when there's an infinite duress? Wild Warwick around the corner. He has a period and will be able to pick up the kill. Zero definitely playing a bit too aggressive. No wards whatsoever coming out from Blizzard in the top side.
Yeah, I like how both the junglers were going up there to deal with it, and then it was just Warwick that got there first and took out that. But I did want to talk a little bit about the Frozen Heart for a bit here, where normally against any other champion in the game, it's really not a great item to get first because it doesn't really give you any health. So, like, Randuin's Omen is usually a much better item because it still does give you the attack speed reduction, and you can reduce their movement speed and all that kind of stuff. But same kind of things that the Frozen Heart does, but it gives you a bit more extra health, and I think it gives you a bit more armor as well. Or
yeah, it gives. I think Frozen Heart gives you the second highest amount of armor. Thornmail #1 there with 100, I believe. And Frozen Heart, I think it's 90 or 99. One of those two numbers. So it's very good in terms of armor-wise. Also against auto-attack reliant champions and that aura. And the cooldown reduction is actually pretty good for Nasus as well. Gets to spam the siphoning strikes too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. We're like any other champion, it'd pretty much just pick up the Randuin's Omen, but because he's playing as Nasus and he gets that extra mana and that extra cooldown reduction, he gets to do a lot more with that kind of thing, because that's things that Nasus needs, because he runs out of mana really quickly and everyone knows that. And with that extra cooldown reduction, he's going to be able to keep farming up that siphoning strike and getting more damage onto it, and he's going to have his ultimate up more often, and he's going to be harder to kill with that cooldown reduction.
Definitely. Definitely. Exactly. And in fact, he's opted to get a Kindle Gem now. Probably working towards that Spirit Visage, which is definitely going to be a favor. Recipe does gank onto him, and a great Dissonance from Chromie will pick up the kill. The chase now is onto Winterfell. But he'll simply Spirit Rush away to safety. I believe that was a good counter gank coming out from Recipe. Tarzan and Winterfell jumping onto Chromie weren't able to get it effectively. In fact, I think when no Assault Battery was used, but Chromie was able to survive that interchange. And the turnaround Infinite Duress by Recipe was freaking. That was kind of that ball delivery system in a sense. We saw it there, it wasn't as big, but it still worked to its favor.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Jack's going on to
Just yeah, a little trade-off there, but
something's trying to happen. But Nasus is kind of like, I'm gonna wither you. You're not gonna hit me. Go away. I want to farm.
He's probably like, bro, why? Why are you touching me, man? Like, no, this is my lane. Just simply slaps him across the face with a siphoning strike, shows who's really the dog up in top lane. Cheese-tastic, he's actually, the passive I think is probably an underrated thing about Nasus. No one really talks about the passive. It gives you lifesteal. And the more you farm up, the more you get to lifesteal off that. So he's able to sustain quite well. In fact, I think he gets 100 back for every Q, but there's a turnaround. Counter-Strike was used a bit too well. His Summoning Strike was able to go through. Flashes away, but Zero falls down. And I guess this solidifies that Cheese-tastic will take dominance in that top lane.
Yeah, and we were just talking about the lifesteal just then. And if Nasus did not have his passive then, he more than likely would have died to Jax, because his health dropped so very low before he popped his ultimate, and then Jax managed to get a bit more extra damage and he almost died again. And then Nasus just lands a siphoning strike and his health jumps straight back up again. So
yeah. Oh, definitely. And we do see a Null Magic Mantle, another Ruby Crystal. So definitely going for that Spirit Visage as his second item. Definitely increase his lifesteal passive. Plus, again, cooldown reduction. We mentioned again why cooldown reduction is such a good item on him. Meanwhile, in the bottom, Nukata gets stunned up by the concussive blows. There's a Glacial Fissure. The Wombo coming out from Blizzard. They do pick up the kill instantly. Nukata in a very good time too. They coordinate quite well. Dragon's up in 3 seconds. Chistastic does have his teleport though, so he could opt to teleport down. But Chromie and Chistastic are just opting to push up the lanes. No, Chistastic, no, he will push up the top lane. Very good gank coming out from Blizzard. That Wombo combo with the Glacial Fissure and the Assault Battery was brilliant. Chromie now using Shockwave under Tarzan. If Tarzan falls, it's actually quite bad for Blizzard, but Chromie will be able to get away. Zero's on him. He's taking a lot of damage. There's the heal and the Shockwave, sorry, shield as well. But the Infinite Dress Recipe counter gank is so good. Zero falls down. This again is leaving Chistastic up in the top lane to free farm. He's now onto the tower. The simply jumps out. He's doing a lot of damage on that tower. It will be the second tower to fall of the game as well. They're letting him free farm. But forget about that. Nukata now uses his ultimate. He's hunting down for prey. He wants to kill. Ball's on him. Unfortunately, the Shockwave was used earlier, so they can't do the ball delivery system. But the pros are taking control around the Dragonair. In fact, they will start it for themselves. And yeah, Nasus is around to assist them. Chromie is back at base though, so he won't be able to assist them though. But this is a free dragon for the pros. Can Blizzard contest this, get a few kills? They can. Chistastic hit by the charm. Winterfell has to be careful. There's the ghost as well. Spirit Rush will be used. And Frosty gets exhausted. He's taking a lot of damage. They're trying to get onto him safe. He's now in a world of pain. Gets snared up by Nukata. He will fall down, giving Boogie Board his third kill of the game. That's a Triforce Corki too, guys. He does a lot of damage. And the pros taking a good lead from that.
Yeah, the pros just managed to all just sit together and work really, really tightly. And Jax was, I'm pretty sure, he was just sitting on the top lane, and I saw him teleport down to the rest of the fight and just kind of walk around and just go, "Hey, I can't really do anything at the moment, but how's it going, guys?" At least after you teleported down, where he could have gone up into the top lane and just gotten some free farm that he so desperately needs first in his Nasus right now, because otherwise he's not going to be able to do anything, and he's going to need to be doing those bloody game slide down and just like, Vine, because I can't do anything on my own. Because, yeah, he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Definitely. Winterfell taking quite low from Chromie. Chromie has completed the Morellonomicon and is working for his Rabadons right now. Not sure how much gold is away from it. In fact, he can afford it right now if he decides to back. The Recipe is coming up towards zero. He does have the Infinite Dress as well, but simply doesn't need it. We'll just only slap him across the face to pick up that kill. Meanwhile, on bot lane, Safe and Frosty trying their best to get their first tower of the game. The tower is in favor of the pros 4-0. They do have themselves a 5.6k gold lead. Despite being one dragon behind, the pushing up of the towers from Chistastic and top lane was definitely worth it, and now they've got a very commanding lead.
They really have, and they did not need that dragon. I mean, instead of going for the dragon, they've been letting Nasus get up in the free farm, and he's taken 2 towers already, which is half of their towers, and they've just been pushing out lanes, and they've been just dedicated to staying in their lane where Blizzard's been running out and roaming a lot more. So they've got the towers and they've got the gold. So they're getting the gold lead, and they don't necessarily have that extra dragon, but they did manage to pull one back before. So while they don't have the 15% damage to structures, they do still have more structures taken out. So that is something right there for
and we just saw Recipe utilizing the scary factor of the Warwick, used his Skirmisher Saber smite function with the Blade King onto Winterfell, was able to pick up the kill instantly. Frosty was taken quite low. I'm sure he was probably jumped on by Nukata, who did use his ultimate, not too sure there. But who cares? In top lane, Chistastic and Recipe are pushing up to the tier 3 turret. Boogie is trying to do his best against Safe and Frosty. Frosty's quite low, but the shield from the tier 2 turrets now, it's definitely a good thing that Riot have implemented in the pre-season patch a while ago. It allows for teams to siege under that tower quite better, and the shield is very beneficial. But if Safe and Frosty decide to back, this could be the 5th tower of the game going towards the pros.
Yeah, I mean, they really should not be getting away from those towers because they do have that little bit. It's almost like a health regeneration that shield that it gives you. So it's like it gives a lot of power when you're sitting underneath that tower. So it doesn't really matter who's winning when fighting underneath one of the inner towers because more than likely you're going to be winning.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
It's the same kind of thing with the inner towers because they just do more and more damage, and they reduce the amount of damage that the person's going to be able to do, so...
Oh, Frosty taken dangerously low by that. Corky has been on point with his missile barrages, definitely landing them. The big one, not enough to get the kill. But yeah, again, you said they could easily have defended that one instead of it taking so much damage. But if that being said, already 5-0 in turrets, definitely advantage objectively in the favor of the pros. Dragon will be up in 1 minute 30. So we could see a lot of wards coming out from the pros to get control of that. They do have also 2 frozen hearts. Recipe buying himself a frozen heart now. Well, interesting, but I think hopefully this can help him. He does get jumped on by the rest of the team. There's the wombo combo again. Instantly picking up a kill. That's a shutdown. Going towards Winterfell, and he's not done yet. Spirit rushes into a Chistastic. Probably not the best thing to do. Just run up into a Nasus who's got over... what? 440 points on that siphoning strike. That's actually going to do a lot of damage if it lands on anybody. Winterfell has been hit by the Wither though, and Chistastic is stuck dealing with defending that mid lane all by himself. Frosty will be pushing out in the bot lane as well, so no one will be able to defend that tower. This will definitely be the first tower of the game going towards Blizzard. A much needed tower as well. They needed that gold badly, and Chistastic was able to defend a tower on his own against 4.
Yeah, well, I mean, he is Nasus with 440 stacks and a Sheen. I mean, he doesn't even have the Trinity Force yet. And once he picks that up, if he decides to, then as soon as they get that second dragon, which it's being pinged right now and Warwick's going to go for it, he is going to destroy towers in about 5 to 6 siphoning strikes. And that is a lot of damage. Like, that 15% extra damage is a lot, and...
Oh, definitely, definitely. It will definitely be a massive thing, especially now for that split push, and they are going to work on it, despite the fact that they were able to clear out all the wards, so Blizzard weren't aware of that. That'll be the second dragon going towards the pros. I guess in their mind they're like, alright, take the early dragons, we don't care, we'll just get them later on, and when we do, we'll be a lot stronger. We do see the ultimate coming out from Nukata, so the chase is on. Chistastic's leading the charge. Ball is on Nukata, and that's actually a very strong ball delivery system. He misses the flash, gets charmed up though, but the ghost from Chistastic lands with her on Tarzan. Tarzan is very slow. He's forced the flash away and will survive to live to see another day. So a very good fight, I guess, coming out from the pros. We were able to get a flash away from Tarzan. Unfortunately, Nukata's flash misses. Meanwhile, on top lane, Zero is pushing up to that tier 2 tower, so we'll be able to get it. But if it's a base race, it's not going to work in their favor. The inhibitor falling instantly from the pros, and Shockwave missing. Great flash on Winterfell. The chase is still on, though. The pros have not left the... What? Boogie going complete balls. I have no idea what he was doing right then and there. And safe. Simply getting the Winter's Bite will scare them away. Zero still hasn't stopped pushing. We see the teleport coming out from Chistastic, but a great interrupt coming out from Blizzard. They were able to stop the teleport back. In fact, they'll be able to pick up 1 kill. No! Yes, they do. Nukata falls, so does Chistastic. So a 2-for-2 exchange going in favor of Blizzard. Zero is still pushing in that top lane. Meanwhile, Boogie, he's sensing blood. He wants the kill, but he won't be able to get it. Can Recipe back in time? But we do see Zero smashing that inhibitor. It's going to fall to Blizzard, so they'll get a good trade-off. Actually worked well in their favor in that one.
Yeah, well, I mean, Nasus is not going to be able to split push very hard at all. Now, like, he is... Like, if he decides to go, oh, I'm going to go split push top and take up their inhibitor tower, he's going to have a lot of trouble fighting those super minions. I mean, at least they're not to get... Axe is a machine. He is just going everywhere, and it's just Warwick every time, just getting there a couple of seconds too late. I cannot believe this.
Yeah, managed to steal a blue buff for himself and leave strikes to a ward away. Zero definitely picking up what he was kind of lackluster earlier on. He's 254 now. he wasn't able to completely shut down the Chistastic on Nasus. But in retaliation, he's like, alright guys, don't worry, I got this. I've just taken the top inhibitor. So if anything, that's going to force Chistastic to stay in that top lane to farm. Winterfell's taking a lot of damage. He will fall down to Chromie. That Shockwave's doing a lot of damage. You need to be careful of Chromie. He's definitely starting to ramp up his damage. Again, he's got the Rabadons, the Morellonomicon. And with the looks of an easy large rod and amplifying tome, it's definitely going to be more of a Zhonya's buy. Don't think DFG is ever an Orianna thing. They're never in a range to get the DFG off anyway. So once you get Zhonya's, it's going to be pretty hard. But we also have to recall that the late game potential coming out from Blizzard. Alright, Nasus is one of the beastiest late games, and so is Warwick, especially with the ramp up, and Orianna. But Corki falls off later on. The good thing about Lucian is he's able to kind of compete early on a little bit against Corki, drops a little bit like in mid game compared to Corki, but then picks it back up in the late game. So if anything, the Jax as well as Lucian for late game will be pretty good. Boogie has been hit by the Soul and Battery from Tarzan. A great play coming out from Blizzard. They should be able to pick up this kill anytime soon. Yes, they do. That's a shutdown gold. I have no idea what Boogie was trying to do all on his own. Was caught out. Great play by Safe on that Braum. Has been landing the Winter's Bite and the concussive blows basically on his own.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job, and he doesn't have that much attack speed, so it's quite impressive. To be honest, I mean, it's one auto attack, then a Q, and then 2 more auto attacks, so it's at least a few seconds, and setting up those stuns is
yeah, basically getting his team to get all those free kills. So Safe is doing quite well on that Braum, setting up a lot kills. He's going to have 8 assists out of the 11 kills, and I believe, did Nakata just ultimate? No, I must have been hearing things. And they're prepping for the Baron. They have to get wards on Baron. We're entering the 30-minute mark, so definitely past mid-game. And that's when Baron is more or less contested all the time. But Dragon's also spawning in a minute 20, so that's going to be the next, I guess, big objective. If anything, Blizzard have to contest for it. They can't allow it to just be given away. Chistastic, though, is so big on that Nasus. He's opting to go for a Randuin's Omen now. Again, a good buy, so he's just becoming that brute tank for his team. But he's already exceeded over 550 of the stacks. He's gonna hurt. If anything, this is probably the best time to try and kite him. Tarzan gets hit by the Shockwave, but it's not going to be enough. Only dropped down to half health. As the rest of the pros are pushing out into the bot lane, trying to get the bottom inhibitor. And Zero is still in the top lane. Don't forget, he does have teleport, so he can join in. But Recipe is around the corner. Recipe does have ultimate. He's got the Blade of the Ruined King, as well as the Smite. But I guess he's assumed that Zero was going to continue pushing the lane. Zero simply just walking back. Chistastic leading the charge, Safe using the Glacial Fissure. The fight is on. Tarzan just walking into them. It's forced to Vault Breaker away. I have no idea what the decision there was there. Chromie pushed way too aggressively. Is forced to use Zhonya's. Zero in the backline though. Will fall instantly. That's a 1-for-2 exchange in favor of the pros. And now Chistastic is leading the charge again. He wants more blood. He wants more beauty. Nukata there gets a kill. It's a double kill for Nukata. Chistastic though is still alive. He's so damn tanky. He will live to see another game shut down for Boogie as well. And Safe will also fall. That is going to be an ace. A 4v5 ace for the pros. And they can potentially take the inhibitor and maybe a Nexus turret.
Oh my god. Like, I was sitting there going, oh my god, Jax is teleporting in from behind them. He's going to destroy them. But Nasus just popped his ultimate and he's like, oh, hi, you want to play a game? I'll whack you in the face. And he just dropped like a fly. Then they turn back again onto red team and just charge up and just beat them all in the face. And now with that inhibitor gone on the bottom and in the middle, that's going to be a real big danger for
definitely.
Especially if the pros can keep their top inhibitor up and Nasus goes to the top lane. I am really wanting to see Nasus go up in the top lane and just push it and just be like, go on, send one of your teammates up top. See if I care. Because they'd have to send at least 2 or 3 people up to go and deal with Nasus alone, which would leave the rest of the team to just be able to go off and push in the base, sitting in a 5v4 or
yeah.
a 4v 3, like a 4v2, which is just going to be a massive just walkover already with their massive lead at the moment. So
yeah, exactly. And we did just see them 4v5 as well, so it's not like they need their 5th member in any of the fights. They were able to 4v5 that team fight then and there. So if it's a 4v2, then it's almost a guaranteed win for that team fight. They're definitely the driver's seat, but Nukata, gosh, tried to take on the Bumper back. Wasn't able to kill him off. I think he ended up dying. It was kind of humorous, to be honest, bringing up the broken shard memory. But it's in their favor again, and they are going to keep Nasus in top lane. They have started on the Baron, though, and not a single ward has come out from Blizzard. They have no idea that Baron has been started off from the pros. Also, earlier, Recipe was able to solo their Dragon, so they do have that 3rd stack, which is the movement speed buff, which is very good for themselves. They kind of need it. And that Baron will fall down. Chromie is the only one over the wall, so he has to be careful. But Cheese-tastic leading charge. Mikado with the ultimate too. He's now taking point guard. The Glacial Fissure coming out from safe. Very good ultimate there. We'll be able to disengage and his team back off. But a great call coming out from the pros, picking up the early Dragon at 35 minutes in.
Yeah, with this power that they've got from the Baron buff, the pushing power, I am hoping to Lord they send Nasus up top just by himself and just make all his minions super strong just up there. And just with a 4v4 even, just in the middle lane, if you've got really strong minions, you don't need the rest of your team. And although it does look like they've sent Rengar up top, who is now actually coming down again, so they're not going to take that 3rd inhib and get 6 super minions per wave, which is quite unfortunate in terms of what I would have liked to see, but it seems like they're just going to push down straight down the middle of the map, and just with their super powerful minions, they're going to end the game.
Actually, maybe not. They have pushed up the mid lane, and the bot lane minions are pushing on their own. Now they've moved up to the top lane. A very good decision right there. Get the free tower. I don't think Blizzard can defend it, but Zero gets obliterated from the team. He dies instantly. Recipes in the backline picks up another kill onto Ari. Winterfell falls. That's a double kill. Nukata with the ultimate too. Gets onto Tarzan, gets a beautiful snare, but Tarzan still lives. Nukata falls. But who cares? Cheese-tastic Chromie are onto the Nexus turrets. That's 1 down. That's 2 down. And the pros, they should be able to take this game, but Blizzard trying their best to fight back. Tarzan is in the backline, but he'll fall down to Recipe, and that's going to be game. Pros pick up the first game of this 3 matchup. Definitely owning their first point. Well done.
I haven't got the little victory icon up here, so I didn't win.
We're all winners.
This victory thing popping up, and I just got nothing. I can't end the game. So, congratulations, the pros. I love that Nasus siphoning strike right at the end. It just drops the base from 3/4 health to nothing instantly.
Oh, definitely. It was insane. That just instantly was obliterated. But Zero, he gets caught out under the tower. The shockwave did so much damage. He was blown up instantaneously. So it was a very good fight coming out from the pros. Definitely taking the lead there. Did give up some early dragons, but in compensating, they did take off, I think, the first tower in top lane. And they were allowing Nasus to free farm. And we just saw what happens when you let Nasus free farm.
That's exactly right. Do not let Nasus sit up in his lane, Jax. I don't know why Jax kept roaming, but I'm going to probably say that probably cost him the game. The fact that Jax kept going down to get those dragons and to go and roam and help his other laners. He probably needed to do it just so that he could help the other people in his team, but at the same time, he did manage to get Nasus a lot of free farm and a lot of towers.
Definitely. Alright guys, we're going to take a quick, short, I think, few minute break whilst the team's set up to get ready into the second game. Pros already taking the first lead of this 3 matchups. They've already got 1 point under their belts in this massive round robin. We'll be back shortly in about 5 or so minutes.
Sound muted.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Arclight Gaming Round Robin. If you're just joining us, you missed an incredible game so far. We are following Blizzard's versing the Pros. This is their game 2 already. Pros were able to pick up the first game last game. Oh, that's the wrong overlay. Hello. Oh, no. Okay, I guess I got the wrong overlay. Oh. Yes, I'm Mr. Jester, and with me tonight is Harry Surf. Oh, hello there, Harry. How are you? How are we? It was a great game before.
Hello, Mr. Jester. Oh, I do not know I am French. I don't know what I'm doing, but hello.
Hello. We are very French people today. For
Okay,
those,
yep.
yeah, for those who are just
banned.
joining us again, this is game 2, and Nasus banned already. So that was for those again. Last game, I'm just gonna utilize this one for a second. Chastastic was playing an incredible Nasus. Last game was able to get a lot of damage onto this Nexus Stars, and Nasus ban is fair. Morgana Fizz coming out from the Pros, and for those who just quickly look at overlay, yes, it's just having quick technical difficulties. I am sorry about that. And the Thresh and Vi and Warwick coming out from the Pros.
Oh, you mean Thresh, Fire, and Nasus coming up? I mean, Morgana, Fizz, and Warwick? You said Thresh, Fire, and Warwick.
Thresh and Vi from the Blizzard. They're banned there. So the Vi, I think, was targeted towards Tarzan. He played the last game, so I'm not sure why they would ban that out, surprisingly.
I think it's because Tarzan doesn't want to play Vi, and he doesn't want to see someone else play Vi because he knows strong Vi's.
Yep.
I don't know, maybe. I mean, they lost, so I don't know. Thresh is gone as well. That Morgana gone. I mean, so they can't pull out anyone. They can't pull out any kind of Warwick Morgana thing because I mean, Warwick and Morgana are gone. So
Definitely.
that?
But instead, they go for a Volibear. Interesting pick from Blizzard right there. I'm not sure where that can go. It could be a top laner. I mean, it could work as a top laner. It could even work as a support. I've seen, and this is probably one of the most cheesiest plays ever. But Volibear support, it's kind of funny and cheesy. It's unexpected. He just runs in, Rolling Thunder, I believe, and just flips him back. It's really exactly. He is so manly. It's funny, but not sure where that can go just yet. On the likes of the Pros, though, they're hovering over Darius. In fact, they lock in Darius as well as Udyr is being hovered. Could be potential lock-in. Yes, it is. So that's going to be Udyr as well. Darius, potentially maybe to go against the Volibear, thinking it's a top lane volley.
could be. Could be. Or it could also be jungle. Jungle
Yeah,
Volibear.
definitely.
The ganks are crazy.
Definitely, especially if he opts to go for maybe like boost of swiftness or mobility with the Rolling Thunder. He'll just be incredibly fast coming into those side ganks. But instead, the Pantheon has been instantly locked in. Again, we're not too sure where all these picks could go. It could be mid lane Pantheon, top lane Pantheon, or even jungle Pantheon. Hell, even support Pantheon. We saw last game Ranga support coming out from Nukata, and actually ended up working quite well. So all the picks could be, depending on where they can go. We have to wait till we get in that spectators delay to know for certain. And Swain being picked up, as well.
Yeah, I love Swain. Sitting at the second least played champion of all time, League of Legends. So that's great. Gotta love that, yeah.
Definitely. I like Swain. He's very intricate champion. Not that strong early on. I've always felt he was kind of weak early on. But if you let him to farm up like one of those Nasus-like picks, where if they get their farm, they get what they need, it will just become that point where he does damage but just doesn't die. Like a Nasus. Like,
Yeah.
who else will fall into that category? I guess if
Just
you build
because of
Volibear
his,
right. Of his ultimate,
Just
I think,
because
for that
his
sustain.
his ultimate. He can just leave it on if he's got enough mana, and he just keeps getting it. I think it's got like a 50% spell vamp or something on his ultimate, which is crazy because it's like a permanent fiddlesticks beam, but he can also still cast abilities, move around, and use auto attacks and everything. So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, definitely. It would be crazy to fight. I would definitely not want to fight off against a Swain who's fed as hell. I'm like in that sense, I'm like nervous to fight a Zed, like the Swain. He scares
And
the bejeebers out of me if he just runs in with his crows. It's like, all right, Fiddlesticks crows scare me. Swain just as much. I don't want to face this today. But also in picks, we do see a Lucian again being picked up this time by Boogieboard. He played an incredible Corki with the missile barrages. Hopefully they can teach Frosty a thing or two on how to play the Lucian, as well as Syndra being picked up by Chromie.
yeah, I'm kind of interested in Syndra because I really would have hoped to see some kind of thing like a Vega or something along those lines. No, I mean Syndra does still have a lot of burst, but I mean probably one of the strongest bursts, probably second strongest burst in the game. But I would have liked to see a Vega come out from there because although Syndra does have a lot more range, and then her stun is still harder to hit. And Nukada is not going to get... Yeah, I was sitting there going, he's not going to play Rengar again.
You're going to bring it out again? I mean, it kind of worked a bit in the previous game. Not really to the best extent, so it wasn't as solid as maybe it could have been, but it still worked to great lengths. We see Twitch and Nami coming out from Blizzard. Twitch hasn't seen much love recently in terms of the ADCs. It's always been Lucian, Corki, even Blue Ezreal is seeing a lot of love, and Graves. They've been like one of the more picked up ADCs. So seeing Twitch is quite interesting, but it makes sense. I mean, who can really get onto the Twitch coming out from the pros team? Darius is one of the more easily kiteable champions, and that's even though he's like a scariest 1v1 top laner. I mean, like one of the most scariest 1v1 top laners you could ever find. He gets kited easily. Udyr, he's all speed, but doesn't have like any blink, so if you can slow him down, you can kite him. Syndra doesn't have blinks. Lucian, Relentless Pursuit, okay, slight blinker there, but I don't think he'll be opting to just dive into the enemy team. Like, who would, especially if there's a Pantheon? Probably not the best decision. As well as Sona, a mobile champion. So Twitch can actually have free reign in terms of all the damage he can do. And we are entering the spectators delay right now, so the picks have been locked in. Coming out from Blizzard, Zero, trying to redeem himself, will pick up the Volibear for that top lane. Tarzan, bringing out the Pantheon in that jungle. Winterfell, pulling out a Swain. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Frosty on Twitch, could he redeem himself as well? And Safe on the Nami, Kite for Days, did quite well on the Braum, bringing out another kite-like pill-like champion, that bot lane. Been on top lane for the pros, Chistastic, picking up Darius, Recipe, with the Udyr in the jungle, Chromie on Syndra, and Boogie and Nukada in that bot lane with a more, I guess, proper bot lane comp with Lucian and Sona.
Yeah, I'm much happier with the bot lane of the pros this time, even though they did win the last game. And I think the only thing that Twitch really needs to worry about is getting hit by a flash spin hook by the Oreo himself.
Oh, definitely from the Darius. I would like it if he played Dunk Darius. That would be really cool to see. I love that skin so much. But if he could able to get dunks, like if he's able to get on Twitch, alright, granted Twitch also isn't a very mobile like ADC. He doesn't have an escape mechanism like the likes of Lucian, like Graves, or even Ezreal, who's got probably one of the best I guess escape ability for an ADC. He literally blinks. It's a flash. That's incredible. But so Twitch, if he gets jumped on, he will fall. So, if anything, I'm looking towards Chromie on that Syndra. If he's able to get the stun with, just able to get the stun onto Twitch, that would be incredible. He gets a stun on, and then you can see, like you said, Chistastic flash pull with the Darius. That's a free kill. If they can coordinate that so well, they should be able to get a free kill on the Twitch. And if he falls, who really is the damage dealer? You've got Volibear, who's probably a frontliner. Pantheon spikes early and mid-game, becomes sort of a more tanky-ish champion late game, and we get starting to get a bit of shred, but won't be able to do that much damage like he did earlier. And Swain is too much damage over time. Like, he won't be able to instantly burst somebody. He just sustains. So if they're running it that way, where all three of them are sort of tanky, Volibear, Pantheon, and Swain, so Twitch will be the main damage dealer. If he can get blown up instantly, That's probably majority of Blizzard's damage out the window. And if anything, they kind of want to keep him alive, but they can do that, I guess, with the Nami.
But yeah, although with Volibear, even if you do build him really tanky, he still has a fair amount of damage. Like, it won't be able to replace Twitch, but it's still a fair amount of damage from the extra health the extra health damage and percentage damage he's got on his bite, and he's still got some damage from his ultimate, where he manages to pretty much just get a shiv on every one of his attacks. So
Yeah, definitely. Volibear doing
decent.
his frenzy will do a lot of damage. Not probably something anyone wants to face off at all. Getting bitten by a big bear. That's kind of freaky, to be honest. I wouldn't want to see that. That's going to be scary if they can get that damage. He'll be opting to go for a lot of health. That's probably one of the best counters to even Darius as well, who's a true damage with that ultimate. And if a best way to counteract true damage isn't getting resistances, it's not getting armor, it's not getting magic resist, it's literally just health. Because that true damage, again, will pierce all the resistance, hence why it's called true damage. So the best way to go against it is health. And Volibear, he's one of the few champions that loves health. It's because of his passive as well, and his frenzy, he loves health. Him, and I believe Mondo love health, and I think Zac as well. One of the few champions that just adore health. And if anything, they kind of can work against Darius.
Baron, Cho'Gath, even.
Oh, definitely. So they're gonna be pretty interesting. I think he will still lose out in trade against Darius, because Darius's Decimate as well as Crippling Strike does a lot of damage in just early on, especially if he goes for, let's say, a longsword to start off with. So he will hurt. It won't be something you want to deal with. And he's running Dunk Master Darius. So I'm happy. I'm just now over the moon. I'm completely satisfied. And it will be good. Like, I could see definitely the Volibear and Pantheon frontliners with the Swain as well later on, and Twitch free reign with his ultimate. Rat-a-tat-tat, just free reign and Nami for the pills. It's a very solid comp coming out from Blizzard. Whereas from the pros, I feel more of a catch-up comp, if anything. You've got the Syndra stun, you've got Sona stun as well. Darius and Udyr, like if Udyr is able to get his Bear Stance stun in as well, that's another stun. And Dunk Master Darius's Apprehend. So that's all, like, if someone's caught out of position, you can instantly grab them and just annihilate them in that instant. Because if in team fights, I still feel that Darius and Udyr are kiteable. They can kite, especially when you have Nami, who can utilize a very good Aqua Prison as well as her Tidal Wave, who simply just slowed them down and knocked them up. As well as Swain, if he can get a Rylai's Crystal Scepter with his ultimate, that's another slow as well. If anything, they can be kited.
Yeah, I mean, once again, it looks like they've gone for a very CC heavy team on Blizzard's. Did they go? Yeah.
Yeah, they did kind of go a CC team Blizzard as well. So with the likes of Nami,
yeah, they've pretty much gone for it again. The Volibear and their Pantheon. So everyone's got some kind of CC that they can use.
Even Frosty on Twitch, you can slow them down. He's able to get a slow as well. So if anything, they all have some form of movement impair, which will be beneficial to again kite away the Udyr and Darius, which is what I think would be the biggest thing to do, is to kite them away. One of the biggest weaknesses that the Darius and Udyr could potentially use. But who knows? Last game we mentioned that the pros team comp looked a bit weird, and the Blizzard had a very much more team-orientated comp, and that turned out to be in favor of pros. They ended up winning. So we're not completely knocking off the team comp coming out from the pros. It's my personal favorite is though with Blizzard's comp. It looks more well-rounded. It does have some catch-up potential, especially with Twitch when he stealths in Blade of the Ruin King and Ghostblade. Pantheon as well, and the Volibear. So they have some catch-out. They've got decent kind of team fight. Wave clear, not as good, I guess. It doesn't have the best wave clear, I think. More in favor of Chromie and Boogie with Lucian Syndra, respectively. But I don't know. I feel that Blizzard just comp looks a bit better, in my opinion.
I don't think I'm gonna pick a a winner. I don't think I'm going to pick someone that I think's going to do any better because it's really. I mean, I'm just seeing it. It could just go any way at all because there are aspects where yes, Blizzard are much stronger, but then if the pros can manage to pull off like something that what they did last game, then yeah, then they could come out and win. I mean, I'm just baffled about the game last game. How I was so confident that Blizzards were going to pull it out, and then the pros just proved me wrong. So I don't want to say that anyone's going to win because I'm just going to get proved wrong.
Definitely. So saying that no team wins, eventually someone will win. But so Ingens, you kind of got proven wrong. Hey, George is on the ruling streak. I'm just kidding right there. We also see a similar playstyle coming out from Recipe. He played the Warwick last game, a very farm-orientated jungler. Not the best ganker until a few levels later on. So he's got a very similar playstyle again with the Udyr. And he can farm. He knows how to farm up that jungle. Not sure if he'll go for the Skirmisher Saber this time, where he opted with the Warwick, obviously with Infinite Duress Skirmisher Saber combo. I would like to see more of a Stalker's Blade to compensate for the lack of CC that Udyr kind of has, since he has to run up to them. Having that Stalker's Blade slow smite would look really good to be able to get the best and stun. But I could definitely see Devourers coming up from Recipe. Alongside all the lanes, they'll just probably just slap each other a little, trade back and forth. Not too much, not really for kill potential. I guess the only one really would be Darius, Chistastic, for that kind of early sneaky kill, as Recipe has worked on his red buff and is kind of making his way up there as well. Does get the ping off too, so we could see early game coming up from Recipe. And it's actually pretty good. Zero is down to half health, does have his frenzy stack up. And Recipe is waiting in waits. I think they're trying to bait out Zero from going in. Who cares? Recipe is now going in. He is in best stance. Gets a stun onto Zero. He's in quite low. There's the apprehend, but the passive from Zero will keep him up alive. Will flash away, but he will be able to live to see another day. Meanwhile, on bot lane, Frosty is actually taking quite low from Nukata. Nukata playing a more prominent support compared to the Rengar last game, is actually doing quite well with that Sona.
Yeah, especially with the amount of heals that you can get back, because Twitch is really, he's all about the poke. And he's just going to shoot you a couple times, he's going to, it's not expunge, it's contaminate, I think. He's just going to keep, oh, goodbye Syndra.
Definitely.
He's going to keep just hitting you with the, it is contaminate, right?
Yeah, it's contaminate, it is contaminate. I have changed the name.
Get used to it.
Unfortunately, I'm still used to expunge myself. And Chromie does fall to Tarzan's gank. Pantheon, a lot more of a stronger early ganker than Vi, in my opinion, because he's got a very solid, just point-click stun. It's not a skill shot where if you miss, you can miss. It's very simple, and he's got a lot of shred and early damage. So Pantheon, already getting himself a first kill. If he can snowball, he'll be able to get a lot of damage and snowball up the lanes. And there's a Stalker's Blade from Recipe. So yes, first prediction of the day, correct.
Woohoo!
I'm happy, now I can retire. I've managed to predict. I'm retiring from my psychic business. Effective immediately.
Stalker's Blades, even.
2 Stalkers. It makes sense though. It's one of the more prominent jungle items ever since the nerf to Ranger Trailblazer, where they upped it from 45 to 60 second cooldown. So even though it's a very good sustain like smite item, the Stalker's Blade just still provides, I guess, more for ganks. And Recipe now is running in. He does get knocked up by the Aqua Prison, but he does a Stalker's Blade slow onto save. Flashing in with Bear Stance there, but a good exhaust will be able to keep Safe alive, as well as the heal from Frosty. The Safe is still alive. Meanwhile, in top lane, Chistastic is forced to flash out, gets stunned by Tarzan. In fact, he will get stunned. Yes, there it is. And he gets the kill. I thought he missed that for a second. I generally thought Tarzan missed.
I really like how he used his smite and then ran up to him and started hitting him. And then as soon as Darius managed to get away, I don't think he flashed. I think he just walked away. Did he flash?
Chistastic flashed away from Zero when Tarzan came into lane, so he flashed into the brush. But what Ignite does is it still reveals him. So he thought, I'm going to be in the brush, I'm going to be safe, but he still gets revealed. Now Chromie gets snared by Winterfell, gets a good stun though, but who cares? Tarzan's stun is a lot better. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Zero is trying to return for onto Cheese-tastic. His Thunder Claws are doing quite a lot of damage, and Zero, it's quite like, oh my gosh, the frenzy! Zero with the turnaround, my god!
And his passive wasn't even up. He just went full balls deep. He's just like, embrace the storm, Darius.
Yeah, we've got the kill today, my pretties. Very good turnaround by Zero. That was absolutely incredible. Cheese-tastic. He was also level 5, so he didn't have his Noxian Guillotine. Had that been up, we would definitely see Dunk coming out from Cheese-tastic to pick up the kill. But Zero with just barely enough health, and the frenzy was enough to numb him down. That's incredible. Zero already 1 kill up, as well as has an assist as well. It's farming quite nicely. You know, in the mid lane, Winterfell gets ignited, he gets slowed. There's a stun, but he will flash away. He's actually still surviving. His ultimate is doing quite well. In the bot lane too, Tarzan's making an appearance. There's Aqua Prison on a Nukata. Tarzan does have his stun, but it's not going to land. A great flash from Nukata will keep him up alive. That's already a 4-0 in favor of Blizzard. Very reminiscent from last game too, starting off a very good commanding lead.
And here we go. Here's a 7-minute dragon coming out for Blizzard again. It seems like they're taking up the event kind of strategy of taking up a 7-minute dragon every single game that we saw.
Whoa! Winterfell was able to pick up a kill on Chromie with that ignite tick, able to secure it. So he's actually got himself his first kill of the game, 2 assists as well. As Blizzard are working on a dragon, but the pros are around the corner. There's onto safe. He's saying quite low. Agro has been a great smite still from Recipe. He's now redeemed himself from the top lane incident. Actually, no, he still hasn't died. Sorry. He's able to get the smite still. So that's the first dragon gone towards the pros. Boogie was able to get his first kill as well. I thought it was Cheese-tastic after he failed in top lane. But he's now getting engaged on by Zero. There's a Thundering Claws as well. Zero's doing a lot of damage. His frenzy is up. Gets Apprehend. Cheese-tastic is putting him up down. Oh my gosh, the Noxian Guillotine! Just able to get the kill with the last auto attack. But he barely escapes with any health at all. Zero must be fuming after that.
Yeah, if Volibear had waited just a little bit longer before using that bite in the fight, then he would have been able to kill Darius there because he was on so little health, and the damage is increased by 1% per 1% missing health. So it is a fair amount because you can do up to double damage, technically. I mean, you can't really kill someone when they're on 0% health. Let's say you can do 1.99 times extra damage.
Yeah, basically. It's just absurd how much damage you can get. It's very good execution, like, ability in that frenzy. Very underrated too. I mean, Noxian Guillotine is also very solid execution. It's true damage. I mean, even if you don't manage to get the stacks onto it, it still can execute you for a lot of damage. But that was just so close. Cheese-tastic finally able to get himself a kill. He's managed to get the Brutalizer as well as the Pickaxe. So he's actually got a very damagey Darius build, not as tanky as a lot of people opt to go. Most times they go for early Randuins and whatnot, or Brutalizer into a Randuins. But he's just gone completely balls deep with his damage. Hopefully it works out for him. He does have, it could work out if they're able to get him quite low. Zero though, opting to go tanky, has got himself 2 cloth armor. Maybe going for an early Frozen Heart, maybe? Or Randuin's Omen, I believe. No, it'll be a Randuin's Omen.
Yeah, although, oh god.
That max range Apprehend Zero is taking a lot of tower aggro as well. I don't think he intended that to happen. But Cheese-tastic was able to get him down to quite low health. His ultimate is up too. So if anything, Cheese-tastic could flash Apprehend into Decimate followed by Noxian Guillotine. That'll do a lot of damage to pick up himself a kill. Volibear's passive will not survive an instant execution ability. It
will not. But, yeah, Darius going full damage with Pantheon coming up there right now. He's already pretty big, and
oh
Darius is just gonna drop.
Amazing play coming out from Blizzard. We know in a bot lane safe has been hit by the Crescendo. Tried to use a tidal wave, effectively does not. He will fall down. Meanwhile in the mid lane, Chromie lives to kill off Winterfell. The redemption kill is now in Chromie's pockets. Well done there. Frosty's stuck in the bot lane using Rat-a-tat-tat to clear out that lane. Rick Sapitho, it decides who cares. I'm diving this. Give me Boogie. He's third kill of the game. Boogie's on fire now. 6 kills in favor of both teams. Only 500 gold lead in the favor of the pros. But that should definitely even out, in fact, go in favor of Blizzard after taking this tower, and it does.
Yeah, just the fact that Darius went for full damage and didn't pick up any tanky items, like, the ganks from Pantheon are going to be frequent because he's already pretty big, and with Darius not having any kind of defense on him, Pantheon can pretty much just pick up some free kills up there and just get even bigger than what he is right now. And let's see, the bottom lane tower being taken up from by Lucian, that's his name, and giving them a little bit of a gold lead right now.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
It looks like the pros may be able to pull this game out for the second game.
As if they can, but Chromie gets locked up quite well from Tarzan, and Winterfell's chaining the CC effectively. In fact, Tarzan picking himself up his 4th kill of the game. He's doing quite well for himself, has been roaming and ganking, hasn't utilized the ultimate just yet, and man drop for an incredibly awesome gank. But the Blizzard aren't out just yet. They're only 300 gold behind. That's kind of nothing early on. It's barely even an item. Safe, though, has to be careful. He's facing off Nukata, and Boogie was around the corner. But what the pros do have is they've gotten the first dragon. Unlike last game, they gave away 2 dragons, but they were able to take the top tower. This game, though, they have managed to get the first dragon. They've lost the tower in top lane, but to compensate for that, they've taken the bottom tower. So if anything, they have still the objective lead because of that single dragon. Later on, it will make more sense. For now, it doesn't actually provide much stats since it's a percentage boost stat. So we'll definitely see how the pros utilize this dragon. But it could be even the dragon curse. Take first dragon, lose game. if that is ever a thing.
The fact that with the dragon, I don't think like the first dragon is ever much of, oh, we've got the first dragon, we've got extra stats. It's more of a, we've got the first dragon, you don't have the extra stats, and you're 1 extra dragon away from getting any kind of really strong kind of ability.
Definitely, and a great turnaround from Blizzard. They were able to pick up the kill onto Recipe. Winterfell's still alive, mind you, and Frosty picks up the kill. Nukato's around, does have the crescendo, but in the backline, Tarzan did man drop in onto Boogie. There is the culling as well. Boogie will live to see another day. And a very good turnaround coming out from Blizzard. That was a fight initiated by Recipe and Chromie under Winterfell, and the Swain with the Rod of Ages was able to sustain it all and live through it. And now that the fact that Recipe just spawned and Chromie is still down, Blizzard are now onto the dragon.
Oh man.
Meanwhile, in top lane, oh my gosh! Zero! The frenzy was not enough.
The storm. Just hits him a couple times, gives him a bite. He keeps biting a little bit too early. He just needs to get out 1 auto attack before he gets off one of those bites, because that bite does have the percentage for percentage missing. So
definitely, a single auto attack away and would have definitely secured the kill. Just like last time, when Chistastic was able to get the kill with Noxian Guillotine, had Zero just auto-attacked 1 more time before frenzying, he would have been able to get the kill and live. Unfortunately, happening yet again, doesn't get that 1 auto-attack that can dictate the actual kill for himself. But it's fine, he is able to get some more farm, does have a 14 CS lead, finally completed the Randuin's Omen, which is a very good solid buy for himself. Provides armor against Chistastic and the much needed health against that Noxian Guillotine as well. But Chistastic got himself a Tiamat. So he's still opting to go damage, despite he's actually losing some of these trades against Zero's Volibear.
yeah, I mean, this is going to be really, really risky if Pantheon manages to come in and and do some serious damage. Although it seems like the Sona and Darius they were kind of shifting towards Blue Buff, and now they're going back up to Volibear. They're kind of just wandering around a bit, and the disconnect by Pantheon.
Yeah, definitely. So quick pause. Believe this. I'm not sure how much time allocated is there for these pauses, so it shouldn't be too long. Hopefully, be able to reconnect. But Nikata with the Sonar, he's definitely up in top lane. He does have Crescendo, so he could Crescendo onto Zero, followed by the Apprehender. Just lock him down long enough for Chistastic to build up the passive, which I believe is Hemorrhage. The Hemorrhage stacks. And once he uses a Noxian Guillotine to secure the Execute. So if anything, that's probably what they could have done. But I still feel like Zero, because he's got in the Mercury Treads as well, so he can get out of the stun a lot quicker. He's just too tanky now. So it will not only require just Nukata, I think maybe someone else would have been a bit better. Maybe if Recipe was there as well, they could 3-man it, instantly blow him up. But if they allow Zero to just constantly keep farming, it would be like a reciprocate of last game, a mirror of last game, where Nasus was allowed to free farm to the point of they needed like 3 people to be able to fight him off. Volibear won't be able to do that much damage because his Frenzy doesn't have that low of a cooldown compared to Siphoning Strike, which can also do tons of damage. But
Tons of damage.
yeah, tons of damage. But Volibear still can do damage, and his tankiness will allow him to at least 1v1 a lot of circumstances. Especially, and we kept saying this, Chistastic has opted to go squishy. He's incredibly squishy. Even Recipe has gone for the Phage. So he's gone a bit squishier too. If anything, that squishiness, if they're not able to get any tanky items later on, Zero and Tarzan alone will be able to destroy their team. That's not including Winterfell or Frosty on the Swain and Twitch. Would you agree there?
Yes. I don't think I can add any more to that. I'm just... Yes.
Dun dun dun. You couldn't add to it. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's a very solid game. Winterfell definitely improving with the Swain this time. Last game he did play Ahri. Obviously not to too much extent. Chromie was able to take the better of that mid lane playing as Orianna. So Chromie had the upper advantage in that mid lane. But now tables have turned. Chromie is 1-5. He's now losing. He's behind. Even though he has a very good CS lead, 30 CS lead, compared to Winterfell. And I can potentially keep him up, I think, in gold-wise. He's behind by 200 gold. So it's keeping him up in terms of gold, but if he's still falling behind more and more. Whereas last game, Winterfell's incredibly behind compared to Chromie. Chromie was his shockwave, and we saw that in top lane, obliterated Zero and Jax. It's like just instantaneously blew him up. That was crazy good. So
Just...
Alright, definitely. So Chromie, hopefully, we'll be able to pick up his game. He's gone for a DFG this time around. I think he opted to go for Morale Anomicon when he was playing as the Orianna. So he's gone for that DFG. Yeah. Early burst, very solid item for a Syndra I like. Bot lane, though, Boogie, he's still got that lead in terms of kills. He's already gotten 3-0s. In fact, opted to go for very early Infinity Edge, which I believe last game Frosty went for Brutalizer early, or was it for a Cutlass? I'm not too certain what his item was.
Yeah, he picked up a Cutlass, and then he picked up a BF sword.
Okay, so he went for the early, kind of went for an early Cutlass for a sustain. Right now, he's also going for the Blade of Ruin King, which is a pretty good item for Twitch. Get Blade of Ruin King, get the Ghost Blades, just stealth in from behind, and basically become an assassin. And that's one thing I love about Twitch is he kind of breaks the whole ADCs should not be in the front line, they shouldn't be like leading the charge. Granted, in team fights you don't, you stay at the back and you do as much damage as you can. He can do that with Rat-a-tat-tat, incredible range. But when it comes to roaming, he's one of the few that can actually go in and just instantly appear underneath the person. And with and we'll be able to do damage as well.
Because more than likely they're going to run. So if you put yourself right up on top of them, they're either going to try and fight you, and you're probably going to win the fight because you're Twitch, hell, or they're going to run away, and you've got that little bit of extra range to kind of deal with them as they're trying to run away. And yeah,
definitely, it's something. Twitches are very scary if they're able to get fed off that as well from the roams. Does have a 10 CS lead as well, so doing quite well for himself. 1 kill, 1 death. Obviously not as much gold in comparison to his counterpart, only trailing by 300. That's barely just a longsword, to be honest. And so Big Boogie Board is doing quite well for himself. Do apologize for this long pause. I believe it was Tarzan who's disconnected, and I think he has coming back very shortly. So the pause shouldn't be too long at all. If you are just joining us again, we are playing for the Arclight Gaming's round robin. It is a tournament that's going on for I believe the next 11 weeks or so, where teams will be playing 3 matches on Mondays and Wednesdays to earn points, and every time they win a game, they get a point. This game tonight we're following Blizzard versus the Pros, and we are game 2 in this 3-game matchup. Pros were able to take up the first win, so right now they've secured themselves 1 point in the point system. If they're able to take this game, they get 2 points, and if they win the 3rd game, they walk away with today with 3 points, leading the charge, and Blizzard with the 0. So if anything, these wins are important. You don't want to give away any free wins. The top 8 with the most points will compete in the finals, where there are prizes to win in the finals.
Oh, exciting! I love prizes. I'm just hoping to God that this Twitch picks up a Runin's Hurricane at some point, because I love the Runin's Hurricane. It's one of my favorite items. So was the Rage Blade, but that got removed.
Oh, definitely. And the Runin's Hurricane is going to be is a solid item. Like, if anything, he can afford to get it, to be honest, because who can jump onto him? There is no blinks from the Pros. They're running Darius and Udyr. So if anything, Twitch does have free reign to sit at the back and just annihilate and just shoot him down from far. So he's potentially able to get the Runin's Hurricane. It could work out to his favor, if anything. And I believe the pause should be...
Oh my god! I've just read. He's logging back in now. His PC just shut down. I called him. He's
Alright, that's unfortunate for them. If I believe we might have to contact one of the admins to figure out exactly how long the pause timers can be, to be honest. So bear with us 1 second. I do believe it could only last for 10 or so minutes or 15 minutes. Otherwise, I might have to restart.
Yeah, well, I mean, this pause is going for almost as long as a Morgana snare, so crazy.
We do apologize for it, guys. We do really, truly apologize for the pause time. Sometimes it's not on our end. There are sometimes some technical difficulties. This is an online tournament too, so it's not a LAN one. Therefore, people will have some internet issues, some PC issues, in order to be able to disconnect issues. Like, for instance, there was earlier tonight, we had a bit of technical issues on our end, and that's why the stream didn't come up as quickly as we'd liked it to be. So technical issues do occur when we do play online tournaments, so we do truly apologize for it, and hopefully we can get this game underway. We're just checking with a few of the admin team to see how long do we have for this pause time limit. Hopefully it shouldn't be too long. I do want to see a 3 matchup game, to be honest. It's all good.
Just had a summoner has reconnected.
Also, it shouldn't be too long then. Definitely I don't want to see team just surrendering in this 3-match robin. It's a very intense, fun game. I do want to see also Blizzard taking a win in this game, or maybe in just the next one. And yep, he's back. So Tarzan is back. We should definitely get the pause out of the way now. Sorry for this whole delay, guys. We did not mean it whatsoever. The game will start up in the next few seconds. Teams are shouting out ready, so we'll get the pause off in just a moment. And I think what we were seeing last time was Chistastic and Nukata were trying to get a gank up in top lane. Zero on the Volibear has done wonders in that top lane. And yep, in 2 seconds, we're back into the game. We do apologize for the massive delay, guys. Incredible game so far. Frosty is trying to farm up as best he can in that bot lane. He's being pushed up by Boogie. Boogie's playing very aggressive on that Lucian too. Equal levels. We know in the mid lane, Chromie does land a stun on the Winterfell, but not going to be able to follow that up. Winterfell was under the tower. In fact, Winterfell does have the Rod of Ages and working towards that. Zonya's himself doesn't have boots just yet, but he has been shoved under the tower. He'll struggle to last it under the tower. Chromie doing quite well to keep him at bay, denying him as much farm. Has a 30 CS lead.
Yeah, that 30 CS is going to be really, really important. I mean, even though he is sitting on 5 deaths, I mean, being able to sit on 114 CS with 5 deaths at 16 minutes it's actually impressive. Especially against someone such as Swain, who is kind of getting pretty strong.
Definitely, and we do see all of the pros converging in the mid lane. They're going to try shoving up this mid lane. That's letting Apprehend onto safe. He gets caught out. He will fall down. The smite from Recipe securing the kill right then and there. Does use the tidal webs to try and delay as best as he can. But a great kill coming out from the pros. Meanwhile, from behind is Zero. He's charging up. I'm not sure if he's going to run into them though. He has to walk around as the minions weren't able to help them keep the pros near the tower. So already a 1-for-0 exchange in favor of the pros. Tarzan is waiting around the corner trying to get a stun onto Recipe, but it's not going to work out. And the pros are simply pushing out into the mid lane. Meanwhile, Shistastic will head up in the top lane, get all that free farm. He does have teleport though, so he can join back in if a fight does begin. So interesting to see what the pros will do now. Free farm bot lane, probably one of the teams should be able to take that. But Winterfell, 2-1-4 on that Swain, is falling behind in CS, is behind by 40 CS now in favor of Chromie. So Chromie's still doing a good job despite dying 5 times.
I was really hoping that Volibear would have just stayed top and taken out that tower instead of coming down to the middle where he couldn't really do that much. And to be honest, he didn't really do that much, and he could have just taken that tower, especially with his attack speed that he gets just from slapping things in the face. So, yeah, I'm not really sure that was a really good play of what came out from that. Yeah, they may or may not have lost a tower from the mid push, but I don't think it would have been any different if Volibear just stayed up in the top lane.
Yeah, definitely. He was able to push up the lane. He's still keeping up pressure in that top lane though. Zero on the Volibear. Definitely a turn of events when Chistastic was able to do the same thing with Nasus last game. So it's definitely slowed down the pace. Winterfell leaned out to charge. He's actually flashed away. He got scared from the apprehend of Chistastic. Winterfell doesn't have much mana whatsoever, so if a fight does begin, he will be useless. The middle tower is staying quite low. The culling will scare off Tarzan as well. That's going to be the second tower game. The flash apprehend misses, but does burn Tarzan's flash right there. Pantheon with the flash is quite good. Meanwhile, on the top lane, Zero is still drawing up the attention of Recipe, constantly pressuring up that top lane for himself right there.
Yeah, I mean, if he had have stayed at the top lane and taken that tower when the entire enemy team was down the mid lane,
yeah,
he wouldn't need to be up there, and he could have defended the mid lane tower if it was still standing. And then there would have been a fair amount more pressure up in the top lane, even without him having to be up there. And Volibear could have done, like, just joining up with his team and making it a 5v5 or a 5v4 when someone needs to go in there. Fatal flash by Twitch.
Interesting flash coming out from Twitch. I think he tried to go for a flash auto attack followed by contaminate to secure the kill. He was able to assassinate Nukata on Sona. Unfortunately, we weren't able to pick that up as we were watching that fight where Tarzan falls towards Chromie and Chistastic. But Frosty already getting that assassination stealth kill onto Nukata, and it's actually a pretty good target since Nukata on Sona, one of the very squishiest champions in the game. To this day, I think Ezreal is also up there with one of the squishiest champions in all of League. So pretty good for Frosty picking up his second kill there. In fact, he's got himself nearly a 40 CS lead compared to Lucian. So it's good job for Blizzard right there. Get that Twitch up and running. If he gets fed, he's going to be a threat to deal with. Blizzard are on Dragon though. They don't have the first one just yet, but they do secure their first. No, they secure their second Dragon. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, they got one. They got one before.
They got one before, but it will fall. Winterfell does fall. There's a flash crescendo, only landing onto Tarzan. Nukata picks up the kill. The chase is on though. They were able to pick up their second Dragon, giving away 2 deaths in the process. So good favor. Frosty finding himself a Nukata as well. He does the stealth thing. Can he get the kill? Nukata's quite low. The contaminate is not enough. He's gonna live the hill. No, he falls. A tick is enough to pick up the kill. Frosty with his third kill of the game. Apprehend not long enough to pick up Zero's passive. We were able to regenerate back up to full halfway health. So pretty good there. Frosty, 3 kills, 40 CS lead. He's definitely ahead compared to Boogie.
Defiantly is. Embrace the Storm coming out from Volibear. Not sure what he was really going for that. I mean, he did just take out the minion wave. Not very impressive ultimate, must be said. Although, I don't really feel like Zero is utilizing his ultimate as well as he actually could, because he seems to just be using it for the extra wave clear when he did have Swain sitting like right next to him, and Swain does have like one of the best wave clears in the game, like being one of those AoE type mage dudes. So
oh, definitely,
yeah,
definitely.
I'm not too sure what's yeah, what the hell is going on here?
Not too sure right there, but Zero has gone back in the top lane. Doesn't have teleport. In fact, has been running Ignite this match. So if anything, he will be able to get back into the fights quickly with that Rolling Thunder. Tarzan still in the jungle, just simply farming up, getting as much gold as he can. He's 4-3-1. Was 4-0-1 earlier, so he has died the past 3 times. Unfortunately, not able to snowball what Pantheon could have done. We do see also Triforce being completed up by Recipe, so he's going to do a lot of damage if he left unchecked, and does have the ability to do that as well. Chistastic finally getting some tankier stats with that Giant Spout. But the gank onto Zero. Zero has to be very careful. Recipe's coming out from behind. He knows he's in trouble. He might try to fight this. He does use a random ones, but the Abraham's good. There's the stacks with Hemorrhage, and Chistastic with the dunking gets himself the kill. That was worded so badly, but Frosty is now taken down to half health as Big Boogie Board has completed the Infinity Edge and Boots of Lucidity.
I feel like Twitch is still going to just wait there and just go and do a little assassination onto Lucian, because he probably can take him out with the bonus attack.
And that's what he's doing right now. There's a rat-a-tat-tat. Blade of the Ruined King. Boogie's taking quite low. The Culling's returned, but the shutdown. Frosty does win in that one. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Tidal Wave's turned around, knocks up 2. Cromie's taking quite low, but Winterfell dies to the Ignite tick. So does Chromie as well. Nukata will be facing safe. Tarzan comes around from behind with the man drop. Meanwhile, Frosty could still potentially push the bot lane. Not sure why he's backing just yet. Recipe is now coming into the aid of Nukata. Save his force to flash away. Gets smited, gets slowed. Recipe picks himself his 2nd kill of the game. And Tarzan will say, I'm out of here. I'm sorry, not saving you, Jane. And just simply back away.
Just, goodbye. I'm not going to die. See you later.
Not today. Frosty, though, 4-1-0 finally completed the Ghost Blade. So he's definitely going to be that solid ADC that the team will need. In fact, they kind of really needed him to snowball, and that's what he's doing. He's getting ahead. He's stronger compared to the Boogie on Lucian. Has 4-1-0, completed the Blade of the Ruined King, got the Ghost Blade. In fact, he's got himself the Elixir of Ruin and Longsword. So he's going to do a lot of damage if they're up for a team fight now. Zero also got himself Thornmail, so he's getting a lot of armor stats to deal with Boogie, to deal with Recipe, and Chistastic, all on AD-like champions. It's a pretty good item buy for himself. That means he's squishy if Chromie engages on him. And Chromie's doing quite well. Was 1-5, now it's 4-6. So she's doing quite well for himself to come back. Has completed DFG and the Morellonomicon as well.
Yeah, well, there we go. Just taking out the Skullcrab as dragons. About to spawn sometime soon, so that was quite,
And Tarzan does live with the slip out. No! He falls to a minion attack? That was not an Ignite tick. I think that was a minion attack securing the kill for himself right there. So Chromie now 5-6 for himself. Good job there for Chromie. That's Tarzan down. Not doing quite well despite being 4-0 earlier. He's now 4-4. And the pros are picking up the 2nd turret. They're now 2-4 ahead in turrets. Good job for the pros. And they'll simply just back away and do whatever they please. Steal from the jungle, take and pillage. Frosty though falls the flash, does flash away from the crescendo. And will start the way to say. Not sure what he was doing, he got caught out of position. That's actually a good trade for pros again. Taking the flash away from Frosty at the expense of a crescendo, which has a much lower cooldown.
Yeah, it really does. And, yeah, just before Blizzard was very, very scattered around the whole map. And the pros just took massive advantage on that. I'm just waiting for Volibear to go and eat that.
Yeah, Zero does pick up a kill on the Chromie. Chromie missing the stun with his Dark Sphere and Scatter of the Weak. So unfortunate for him right there. Zero picking up his third kill of the game. Has got himself the elixir of... What elixir is that one?
Iron is Zero.
To allow him to
Iron.
hit towers, I believe.
Iron makes you big.
Yeah, now he turns on to Recipe. Now the fight between the two bear men. Frosty picks up the kill as well, but Zero's taking a lot of damage. He's forced to flush away. His passive has been procced as well. So he's regenerating. He's leading Recipe on a merry chase. Meanwhile, Tarzan has ulted on. We have to keep an eye on that. Just on Cheese-Tastic, he gets apprehended. Now the fight's onto Cheese-Tastic. There's a stun as well. But the pros will simply just back away. Very good play coming out from Blizzard. Dragon has spawned as well. They're going for their third dragon of the game. They should be able to take this, as the rest of the pros are not in position to contest this.
Yeah, this is the dragon that's gonna really, really help them out, especially with their team.
A great Acro Prison coming out from safe. Now even Frosty's now stealthed in onto Boogie. Boogie falls. Zero's a great flip onto Cheese-Tastic. He gets apprehended. Cheese-Tastic picks up one kill. He's going to pick up a double kill, but he will fall down. Winterfell now leading the charge. He's dominating. It's getting scary, but a great three-man stun from Chromie. Nukata's around the corner. Frosty's stealthed in. Frosty's so deep. He has to back away. Winterfell, though, not enough. He snares up Nukata. There's the Aqua Prison. Winterfell's the great Zonias. In fact, Frost has to be careful against Godlike. Gets one kill, but Recipe's on him. Recipe with the shutdown, but Winterfell's still chasing. Will not pick up the kill, though. Unfortunately, but does get stunned up. And they will simply back away. That was a 3-for-3 exchange? Yes, it was a 3-for-3 exchange. In favor of Blizzard, as they were able to take off the dragon as well.
Yeah, even with the 5% movement speed, they're still not really able to chase people down very well. Blame. He was just sitting on tier 1 boots when trying to get up to him. So if he did have some sorcery boots like he does now, then that extra little bit of movement speed probably would have been able to help him to save Twitch.
Yeah, definitely. It was unfortunate Frosty was able to die. There was a good exhaust coming out from Nukata as well. It did allow Recipe to just turn around and slap him across the face. Triforce doing a lot of damage. So a lot of damage from Recipe on Udia. Has gotten the Frozen Heart now, as well as Cheese-Tastic finishing up the Randuins. Definitely going for a bit more tanky stats, being the frontliners they have to be. Recipe has to be careful. He's being surrounded. No, but Frosty's still getting the assassination onto Nukata yet again. Tarzan's taking a lot of damage. I think he's trying to flash. He can't. No, he fails the flash. They tried to bring back the golem so he could stun it, but it was not working. Zero now in the backline. He's 1v2ing. He's taking a lot of damage, down to half out. The stacks of hemorrhage are on him. Meanwhile, Frosty's leading the charge. There's a tidal wave as well. It misses everybody. Zero is still in fight. He's chasing onto Boogie. Boogie will fall down to Zero. Zero's 4th kill of the game. And despite all of this, that was a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of Blizzard.
Yeah, a really nice trade there. I mean, they really were looking to get deeper into the fight, but the pros were just getting away, and the tidal wave that missed everyone, and the Lucian that just jumped over the wall, and just all these really small things that just prevented them from really being able to take out more people. It may be the death of him.
Definitely. Zero is still pushing up in that top lane. He will meet Cheese-Tastic as well as Nukata. Nukata does have Crescendo, if anything. Has slowed down Zero. The Rolling Thunder is up, and there is also Frost Queen's Clan for the slow as well. But Zero is still able to get away. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Winterfell picks up a kill under Chromie. He's just doing a lot of damage as well with the help of Tarzan and Safe. That was a good kill. 5-8-3 is Chromie. 5-3-5 is Winterfell on that Swain. And they should be able to pick up their 3rd tower of the game. Towers are now 4-3, still in favor of the pros, but probably not for long. They do also have a 2.3k gold lead in the pockets of the pros, despite being 3 kills behind. Winterfell now has been caught up. He doesn't have Zonias. He doesn't have an ultimate. He will fall down, giving Cheese-Tastic the kill. That was the apprehend. If anything, that's the assassination potential from the pros. If they can grab somebody, he dies instantaneously. The next in Guillotine doing lots of damage.
Yeah, if they had made the team fight in the mid lane just go for a little bit longer, then Twitch would have been able to take out that bottom tower and put them possibly back into the lead again. But oh, there he is. The assassination down
And
onto-
Frost with the flash onto Lucian. I don't think Boogie was aware of that was ever going to happen. But now Frost has to be careful. Recipe is around the corner. Doesn't have his stealth at all. In fact, he jumps onto Frosty. Frosty's doing taking a lot of damage. Recipe is doing so much. Frosty trying his best. Can only get down to half health. And Recipe picking himself his 5th kill of the game. 5-1-10 is at